Welcome back to Hannity. Hillary Clinton is getting ready to hit the road to promote her new book titled What Happened? And she is charging people a pretty penny to meet her. For example, in Canada, she's asking people to pay almost 3,000 Canadian dollars for a VIP ticket. That's over 2,300 American dollars. And guess what? She'll finally be going to Wisconsin as part of her tour. Well, even Morning Joe poked fun at her. Watch this.
Well, the good news is that Hillary Clinton's finally coming to Wisconsin on her book tour.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
How much is she charging?
I have no idea.
No,
yeah.
Actually, I think there was a charge.
Oh yeah, no. It's I won't be able to afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at least she found Wisconsin. At least she was able to find, you know, the upper Midwest.
Oh my goodness, gentlemen! When you lose Wisconsin, you lose Morning Joe like that, and they're poking fun at you about Wisconsin, you know you're in trouble. All right, joining us now with reaction, Fox News contributors Charlie Hurt and Richard Fowler, and radio talk show host Larry Elder. All right, so 3,000 Canadian dollars for a VIP ticket. Okay, Charlie. I mean, she couldn't get the people to show up to vote, but they're going to pay the big bucks, I guess. I don't know.
And you know what? She probably will get people to show up and hear. But you know, it's so amazing to sit back and think about what an extraordinary politician her husband was, and what a terrible politician she is. The idea that she's this tone deaf, and the name of her book is What Happened. Well, if you want to know what happened, this is what happened. And the idea that she would go out there and not realize the optics of how terrible all of this would look for her, and reveal, quite frankly, just exactly why this is what happened. This is why she lost.
Yeah, I mean, look, she's not just emptying the pockets of Americans, Larry. She wants to bleed Canada dry.
Hey, she's not charging the $200,000 that she charges Wall Street, so
right. Oh,
look at it like that.
It's a deal.
Look,
it's a deal.
I think it's probably cheaper to wait for the movie, but I'm a big fan of presidential memoirs, even of memoirs of defeated candidates. You learn a lot. Walter Mondale in 1984 lost 49 states to 1. He calls George McGovern, who had lost 12 years earlier in the landslide, and said, when does it stop hurting? And McGovern said, I'll let you know if that happens.
Exactly.
So she got one of the most stinging defeats in presidential history. All the stars were lined up for her. She had the money. She had the endorsement. The DNC had their thumb on the scale for her. She was supposed to win this thing, and for her to reflect over why she lost, I think it's fascinating. I'm looking forward to reading her book.
Well, you know, most certainly. I mean, Richard, what do you make of this? I mean, look, I'm all for the free market and capitalism. So, you know, you go, Hillary, in your Scooby van and just head over to Canada and go around the U.S. And I think she's trying to pick up some votes for the next time around, saying, you know, this is not over yet, folks.
I don't think she's running again, but I think Larry's probably going to buy a book, and I'm pretty sure Larry might pay for a $3,000 VIP ticket in Toronto.
Larry's got a lot of cash.
You have it. So there you have it. Larry's getting a VIP ticket, and maybe, just maybe, Kimberly, Charlie might go see her at the Warner Theater here in Washington, so he might buy a VIP ticket as well.
I love fiction,
so she might make $4,000 right here on this panel. So there you go.
Well,
go Hillary.
Exactly. Go ahead.
They're with her, as Hillary she would say.
Maybe the Obamas will take time from shopping for property in Martha's Vineyard, $12 to $15 million a pop, and stop in and pay the $3 grand to Hillary. I don't know.
There you go. You see how Larry worked that in, Charlie? He's like, oh, I got something else for you right there to pull the Obamas into it, too. He's like, there you go.
Listen,
equal opportunity.
Maybe Donald Trump might buy a ticket, too. You know, he's a billionaire if we he's tax returns.
And
so.
we know he's giving $1 million to Harvey Aid in Houston.
This is true.
So he's got the money sitting around.
So, this is true. Better spent
Ivanka,
there.
Jared
Better
Kushner, their tickets could go around.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Charlie. Do you think that we're going to hear yet another excuse for why the election was lost? I'm just fascinated to see if they can come up with another one.
Well, and you know, early excerpts suggest that the book does talk about the stupid mistakes that she made, but then of course she immediately follows them by more stupid mistakes, which I don't really understand. But I tell you what, I don't think we're going to find in there, Kimberly, is I don't think we're going to find any of real genuine soul searching as to what went wrong and how Democrats have completely lost any real message that appeals to those working class voters that they lost in this election.
That's really the true story.
And I know that, Richard, that you want to find the answers to this, but until there is that real genuine soul searching, I think Democrats are going to be in trouble.
Well, I don't know about that. We haven't read the book yet, but one excerpt talked about how she should have handled Donald Trump when he sort of hovered around her. I thought that was fascinating. Here, this is a tough lady. She accused Donald Trump of being a sexual predator, yet she didn't want to tell him to back off, and she's a strong, tough woman. I thought that was fascinating and very revealing.
Yeah, it was interesting, especially the audio version of that was sort of like creepy big time. It was,
I tend to agree with that point that Larry just made there. I think that there are moments where I thought I wanted to see sort of this, you know, you're going to hear me roar Katy Perry, Hillary sort of, you know, stand up to this bully, and she didn't stand up. So I want to hear more about that particular part of the book. And, you know, we have to see whether or not she talks about you know, what Democrats need to do moving forward. How do they sort of get back the spunk that her husband had in the 90s? Does she talk about that in the book? We have to see. But and also, I mean, I don't know if Charlie's right about this idea that we're looking for a message. I think the recent Fox News poll that says 56% of Americans think that Donald Trump is ripping the country apart shows that, you know, maybe the message is there somewhere.
Yeah, well,
just saying.
Go ahead, Charlie.
No, I mean, but of course that has absolutely nothing to do with the lack of message for Democrats, or the lack of a platform.
It just says that Trump's message isn't working.
Well, it just shows they don't have, though. They
those
don't
are two
have a
different
candidate
things.
or anybody to kind of run with right now.
And they don't have a set of priorities and a set of policies.
But neither did the Republicans at this time during the Obama administration. So, I mean, Donald Trump was their nominee. I mean, Donald Trump became their nominee because the Republicans never had a message, and all the establishment candidates lacked a message, and Donald Trump ran over them because of that. So I think every party has their storming and norming, and we're going through that right now.
But the last platform that the Democrats had was the one that Barack Obama provided, and we know that Democrats have lost over 1,000 seats based on that platform.
It wasn't a good candidate. You know, Barack Obama was. He was a good candidate. He was a good public speaker, and he actually campaigned harder and showed up in the places that, you know, Hillary Clinton did it. So let that be the lesson.
He was the only one who could win on that platform.
Well, probably.
It's still the economy, stupid, and Barack Obama gave us the worst economic recovery since 1949, the first president ever to preside over recovery without at least 3% GDP and one growth.
Look at Larry's always going to get a shot in. Larry's always going to get a shot in.
Donald Trump is benefiting from Barack Obama's economic policy today. The reason why the stock market is high, the reason why we're seeing all these jobs come back is because of 8 years of steady economic growth, period, Larry.
Richard, you're lucky we're out of time. We're going to have to leave it right there. All you guys make a lot of money, so go buy some of the tickets and report back to us about Hillary. Coming up, with Antifa violence spiraling out of control, Newt Gingrich is calling on the media to condemn the radical leftist group. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West is here next with reaction. Stay with us.